And the reason why I'm sharing this with you at this time, because so many people are currently worried about short-term issues. Every one of your competitors, many of them that are not going to make it the next 2 years, I can guarantee you right now, 90% of them, all they're thinking about is today. So a few things we need to know about today's times. When the market's great, when the economy is great, people don't listen carefully. People think they have everything together. People are overly confident. People think it's going to last forever. And then the market hits like today, and then it becomes a filtering process. The best part about what we got going on today is the following. Here's the one thing I'm most excited about. We're truly going to find out which of you were the players the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and the market's going to find out who got lucky. It's very simple. The people who got lucky, you're about to be exposed. Those of you that were really building a business on the right foundation, the market's about to find out about you. Your true leadership abilities, your true standards, your right values and principles behind closed doors, you staying disciplined, you not getting sloppy, you not picking bad habits, you not doing any of this dumb stuff that hurts your business. Everyone's gonna find out about you the next 6, 12, 24, 36 months. So my message is a very straight up message to you, and I'm gonna give you a mindset for you to be thinking about, to know that you have nothing to worry about while everybody else is panicking, while everybody else has anxiety, while everybody else is losing sleep, while everybody else is stressed out, while everybody else sitting there worried about what's going to happen. So let's get right into the PowerPoint. Okay, so this right here, why did I write the long-term strategy? Today's message is actually the long-term strategy. Why the long-term strategy? This will be a different kind of an angle to give you. The most important question everybody has to ask today is, who do you want to be? Okay? Most important question for people to ask today. Maybe more important than 2 years ago, than 4 years ago, than 6 years ago, than 10 years ago. It's today. For me, it was simple. Born and raised in Iran. That's me on the left with my sister. To the right is me at 17 years old. I'm with my dad. To the right of that picture is when I joined the Army. I went to the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault. I had no clue what I wanted to do in my life. And then I get out. I start working with Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. This picture is taken 2 weeks after 9/11. While I'm working at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, while Morgan Stanley lost 3,600 employees in their headquarters at World Trade Center, while a man named Dave Kirby sat us down, who was the general manager, branch manager of this place in Glendale, California, and he said, if you guys left the industry today, I would fully understand it. It's gonna be very, very hard the next 2 years. Think about a motivational speaker giving you a message like that, and it's your boss. He sits us down vividly. He says, guys, if you chose to leave, I fully get it. The next 2 years is going to be very hard. But I want to tell you something here. What's that? If you do stick around and you're in it after the 2 years, the kind of money some of you guys are going to make, none of us have ever made before. So I sat there and I said, okay, I don't know how this thing's going to be. I don't know how the market's gonna be. I have no clue what the hell's about to happen. The meeting ends, we all leave. So we leave. I go to the corner, it's 10 of us. We're sitting there talking. So Shaq's like, guys, hey, I'm gonna go get a job at the bank because I'm gonna be the broker at the bank, and guess what they're gonna do at the bank? What's that? Dude, all you do is nothing. You just go through their database and you just sell the existing customers. No more cold calling, no more prospecting, no more this, no more that, no more this. You're never gonna do that. You're gonna make 170, 250, eventually 300,000, 400,000. It's the best job in the world. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And I'm sitting there like, see what the next guy's gonna say. Next guy says, man, I gotta tell you, man, I'm gonna go into a completely different industry. Okay, what's the next guy gonna say? Everybody's talking from a place of leaving. I'm gonna stick around. And by the way, while this whole thing is going on, I'm going through a bad breakup. The Army's asking me to come back to wipe out my $49,000 of debt if I go back into the Army. Nothing's going my way in this picture. Don't let the smile fool you. I stick around. I get my whole licenses, everything. I double down. I get my insurance license. I go to Trans World. I stay with them for 7.5 years. Do incredibly well for myself. October of 2009, we start our own insurance company. And we grow the insurance company from 66 agents. We've licensed now 35,000 agents. We have 20,000 active agents, few hundred offices nationwide. Why am I sharing this story with you? When I'm here, I'm broke. This was my vision. I wanted to one day have this. I told myself when I was 23, 24 years old, relationship didn't work out. I said, listen, long-term, Pat, not short-term. Then I said, one day when I'm a grandfather and we have our kids that marry other people, their kids, our grandkids, are gonna decide which grandpa's house and grandma's house they wanna go for Christmas and Thanksgiving. We have to offer the best place. What do you mean we gotta offer the best place? I want the in-laws to stay. I want their kids to stay. Bring your grandkids. If it's 40, I'm gonna get a house big enough where 40, 50 people stay in one place. Why, you wanna do that? By the way, I'm saying this at 24 years old. I'm only 43 right now. I'm thinking at 65, 70 years old, whose house? Jennifer and I the other day are looking at a house we wanna buy in, it's 25,000 square foot house, $40 million house, and we wanna buy this place. Guys, I've been thinking about this life 20 years. 20 years. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you at this time, because so many people are currently worried about short-term issues, interest rates, Fed, all of this mess. It's true. It is a very, very scary time, but if you're thinking long-term, it's not a scary time. It's a regular Tuesday when you're thinking long-term. What's the point here? I have no idea if any of this stuff's gonna become a reality or not. None of this stuff, I have no idea. But I'm casting a vision and I'm thinking long-term. When you have a vision long-term that you're excited about, current issues don't stress you out. They don't. Every one of your competitors, many of them that are not gonna make it the next 2 years, I can guarantee you right now, 90% of them, all they're thinking about is today. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I guarantee you. Because I had a lot of guys I went up against in the last 20-something years that were bigger than me, smarter than me, better degrees, better markets, better background, better accolades, better speakers, better everything. They look better. They look like somebody that would be a CEO of an insurance company. Do I look like a CEO of an insurance company? I look like a bodyguard from the Middle East. I don't look like a CEO of an insurance company. The typical insurance agent was a 56-year-old white male. I'm not supposed to be here. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? But again, long-term's the way to think today in this economy. So now, outcome, I'm gonna give you some perspective and some mindset. Few data points. 53% of Americans say they rarely or never think about far future. 53% never think about it. Some of you are saying 20 years? I'm not gonna be thinking 20 years ahead. I'm gonna think maybe 3 weeks ahead, but not 20 years ahead. I get it, it's not easy to do. 21% report imagining this future less than once a year. Can you imagine? That means 1 out of 5 person even sits there thinking about the future. Like, all I'm gonna be thinking about is right now. 1 out of 5. So if you're on the other side, you already have an edge over these guys. 32% say it never even crosses their mind at all. This is why I asked the question for you about long-term versus short-term planning. Everything's about the question, who do you want to be? The point is, you just found an edge here because no one's doing that. Everyone's just winging it. Your entire competition, 90%, they're all winging it. But the market's wide open today, especially today, but no one's planning. So now, the greatest danger, this is one of the greatest business consultants and authors of all time, Peter Drucker. He said the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence. It is to act with yesterday's logic. Let me give you some more perspective. Like I said, I was gonna give it to you. Dow Jones. What did Dow end up on Friday? Markets dropped from 37,000 to 28.5. On Friday, I think the market dropped 500-600 points is what it dropped. Okay. Now here's the thing. People panic. People panic on what's going on with the market. This is the Dow in 1957. Did you hear what I just said? 1957, Dow's at 435. This is Dow in 1970, 838. This is Dow in 1983. This is only 39 years ago, guys. Dow's at 29 right now. It's 22.8 times since 39 years ago. When you look at this, how do you feel when you hear these numbers? Let me show you the next part. Average price of a home, 1957, 19 grand. 1970, 25 grand. 1983, 64 grand. 1996, $112,000. 2009, $188,000. 2022, $388,000. What do you notice throughout the entire time? It never was less. It kept going up. Again, the mindset of what? Long-term thinking, you're fine. Short-term, you'll panic. Long-term, you'll walk around the room like this. Hey, Johnny, how are you? Good. You're good? Patrick, everything good? Everything's good, man. I'm excited, bro. You are excited? Very excited. Very. Hey, Larry, how are you? Oh, bro, I don't know, man. My wife and I had a bad fight last night. How are you? Everything good? Future looks bright, man. Super excited about the future. Super excited about. Hey, Jackie, everything good? Oh, did you hear? Is today the day? Did they already announce the rates? Oh, I don't know. But guess what? What? Future looks so bright. Man, I'm so excited about the future. So again, those who capitalize from the current times will be long-term thinkers. Will be long-term thinkers. Here lies a short-term thinker. How many of you guys want to say that with me on three? 1, 2, 3. Say it with me. Say, I'm a long-term thinker. Say it again. Say it louder. Even louder. Last time. Dude, say it to yourself regularly. We are long-term thinkers. You're going to see stress is going to go like this. Confidence is going to go like this. So now, let's look at the whole thing together, because I want to make a point to you guys. I'm not telling you for you to be worth $100 billion however many years from now. But can you think long-term to say 40 years from now I want to be worth 100 million? Is that realistic? Of course it is. Why can't you put a $100 million number to yourself? Why can't you say, hey, you know what, babe? I don't know. In 13 years, I want to be worth 10 million. Let's solve for 10 million in 13 years. I know it's a lot of money to us today. We only got $52,000. But if this guy can go from 140 to 125, I want to go 52 to 10 million in 13 years. Great. Then go solve for that. And it gives you something to look forward to, and it's exciting when you're thinking that way. Okay, you got to receive the message. You got to make that paradigm shift. And then 6, 12, 24, 36 months, 10 years, 13 years, 26 years later, we're going to be reading about your story. I'm going to sit there and say, look at these. This guy talked about an event he was at 2022 when the market was going crazy. He attended this event called Driven. Look at what this guy did with his life. Good for freaking him. Good for freaking her. Good for freaking that husband and wife that made a decision to do something big for themselves. And then you're going to be proud of yourself.